Remember, please hit like and subscribe for me. Thank you so much. Okay, let's go. Hi, everyone. Today is Tuesday, June the 17th. My name is Anne-Marie Band, and this is the Moneyball Morning Report for the Benzinga Pro platform. We are in rollover, and so you're going to see this say ES2 in TrendSpotter as the markets haven't completely finished that roll. It should be done today, but we'll see how that goes. And this is my second time recording it because the first time I did not have the audio button on. Isn't that fantastic? All right, we're going to go really fast. So here's what's going on. Volatility is compressing. This is an FOMC week. They do suggest that nothing's going to give, but what we are doing is holding higher lows, right? And as the higher lows hold, we got to break through these edges. So let's take a look at the opening ranges in the E-mini S&P here. The low of the opening range, 60.52. The high of the opening range, 60.79. Above it, we're likely to collide into resistance up at 6109. Below it, we're likely to collide at support at about 60.17. Expected move, the low of the expected move is 60.53. We've already broken that. We're making lower highs in the ES, but we've got momentum, moving average flat, VWAP flat, clear as mud. This is absolutely atrocious price behavior to build an edge. So what do I want to see? Deep dips, giving me some buy zones, big spikes, and a rollover formation to give me sell zones. All right, low edge of the expected move, 60.53. High edge of the expected move, 61.30. Let's take a look at the NQ. All right, what do we have? Again, compressing volatility. What's the trend? Flat relative to motion. Notice the structure of the average daily range, sideways, drops down, spikes back up, so completely sideways, so flat. Momentum, cresting upwards, so you know that they are lifting off of the base of the lows this morning, even though it looks pretty messy. Opening range low, 22,015. Opening range high, 22,117. So we've got over 100 points on the range of the market. So that being said, the low of the expected move is 22,017. We've broken that a couple of times, but the traders are now holding it. So my suspicion is that we ride into congestion above, and that's about 22,189. Now, if we get below 22,000, we've got selling pressure, the low edge of the formation, 21,816, right? High of the expected move today, 22,316. These are the weekly ones, of course. I have those in red. The daily ones are in white. Another place that absolutely looks atrocious. You could buy the breakout of this range, but nothing tells you it's going to hold. It's atrocious. Terrible price action. For me, looking for an edge. Here's the YM. Opening range, low 42,623, high 42,806. We have not tested above it. The slope of the moving average is somewhat down, but the VWAP is flat. And so we are now trying to get above the VWAP with momentum. It still tells me that the bounces are likely to be sell zones. I would like to consider excuse me. I would like to consider a short somewhere around 42,900 or a failed retest of the opening range low, and that's around the 42,600. The low edge of the move expected 42,397. The high edge of the move expected 43,382. Let's take a look at copper. Oh no, we normally do Bitcoin first and then copper. Sorry about that. Bitcoin, wow. Okay, opening range low, 107,750. Opening range high, 109,320. Look at this. It is sitting at the base of the expected move on the weekly, right? That's what these red lines are. Now, very big bearish candlestick on June the 12th. It's still got the highest volume of the last 3 trading days. And the traders are coming into the edge of old resistance, potentially new support. Now, do I think they're likely to bounce here? Yes. Well, we could have a nasty wick, right? So I would say the long somewhere around 105,000 if the price action shows you it's going to hold. Other than that, it's a space to stay out, right? Very ugly chart in the middle of noise, moving average down to flat, VWAP down to flat, but momentum is very steep, and so let them go down, find support, and then consider the trade. I like the long at around 105,000, but I want it to stabilize so that I can move forward. High of the opening range today, 109,780. Low of the opening range today, expected that's the expected move, not the opening range. The expected move, 109,780. Expected move below, 106,980. We're already 1,000 points below that. That should be a target for a long on a bounce action event if Bitcoin is going to hold. All right, and I don't know that it is. The trend is down, momentum is down. It could really go to the bottom of this box here at 103,370. All right, let's take a look at copper. Gosh, I hope I didn't misuse too many words in that last one. All right. Opening range low, 4.8065. Opening range high, 4.8280. So about 215 ticks. What is trend? Down to flat. We're above the VWAP, but the VWAP's also flat. Momentum is slightly up, but still looks crummy. Expected move on the upside, 1.8686. Expected move on the downside, 4.77. Did I say 4.866 or 1.866? Oh. All right. There we go. Again, absolute garbage. Absolute garbage, this chart. Wait for the deep, deep dips or the great big spikes. Otherwise, you're going to be spinning your wheels today. Now, there's some of you that are going to run in and go, hey, I can trade on a... Listen, trade however you want. I'm just telling you what I'm going to do, okay? A lot of times people get kind of bent, but don't you do you. I'm just telling you what I'm seeing. All right, let's take a look at oil. Oil, also volatility compressing. Opening range event, still pretty high, right? Low 69.59, high 71.46. So $2 is a kind of a big deal. Almost $2, right? So pretty big. What's trend? Up. What's the VWAP? It's mixed, but they are trading above it. What's momentum? Up. So if I've got trend and momentum up, and I'm above the VWAP, it tells me pullbacks or buy zones. So what might the pullback be? It might be the 50% region of this opening range at $70.50. That being said, I would prefer that it pulled back to that area, cleanly bounce, and then break out, right? See how this is heavy congestion? It loses it, breaks above it, and then comes back and retests. So that's a great space to look for it. Anywhere from 70.50 to 70.80. Try micros if that seems too much. We are at the top of the daily expected move on the upside already. $71.66. We rejected it at the open, rejecting it again. I suspect we break through it. That being said, the expected move on the downside is $67.66. We could end up being in a great big sideways pocket. I got to tell you, I'm not sure I'm trading today. Everything looks like garbage. All right, let's take a look at gold. Gold's been trading in inverse to the E-minis over the last couple of days. It has these moments where they dislocate and then they relocate. Right now, if you see gold going up, you know the market's coming down. If you see gold coming down, you know the market's holding the floor. And so what do we have? Opening range for gold. Low, $3,404. High, $3,417. Expected move on the low side, $3,384. Expected move on the high side, $3,424. Essentially, it's caught in the high volume candlestick from yesterday, and it doesn't seem to be able to break up and over the halfway structure. And so my thought is, even though the moving average is up the flat, that bounces our sell zones here in gold, right? Here's the rub. See how momentum is moving to the upside? Nice grinding up. You know, price action's moving down. It's telling us that it's trying to build a floor of support. Could you take the long here at 3,400? 3,404? Absolutely. Absolutely could. Your stop is pretty far away. So I would try a micro. Otherwise, that's going to make your face bleed. So you don't want to do that. All right? I don't know what oil's going to do. Excuse me. I don't know what gold's going to do either today. It's bananas. All right. Let's take a look at SPY. Oh, man. All of these things look atrocious. So SPY is trapped between a big volume candlestick from the 13th and another bullish candlestick from the 16th. And so we came right into that a moment ago. Also into the high of the expected move at $602.45 and backed all the way down. What does this tell me? I got sideways price action. I need to wait on the bottom, the low of the expected move, $596.38, or the high. Otherwise, I don't have a trade here. Garbage. Garbage. Let's take a look at the Qs. Why don't I? Honest to goodness. All right. The Qs had a range that looks like about not quite $2, right? $530.71 to $532 on the high, so it's about $1.30. It's sitting inside of that range. It's had no spikes. It's tested below it and has come into the range. It's tested above it and it's come into the range. Listen, these kinds of formations, break out the knitting needles. Just use it to study, strategize opportunities on tighter time frames, whatever you want to do. Just, man, oh man, just better to practice trade on a day like today. Low of the expected move, $527.23. High of the expected move, $536.34. Deep dips or big spikes into prior congestion or relative old resistance that becomes support is what I would advise. It's going to be very choppy today. So be careful. You can range trade, but don't be impatient. All right, good luck.